So I would probably say at this point, I'm most likely not the only person thinking about this. And to be real, this is easily not the only game going through the exact same issue, guys. But I just wanted to keep it 100. As you all know, I really do kind of tend to do that with a lot of different stuff in Motorfest and even other games as well. And there's something I really wanted to discuss here at Motorfest because, to be real, I really think the overall update design in this game is honestly hurting it more than we actually realize. Now, as I did say before, though, this is obviously not the only game that's kind of in this entire sequence here. As we all do know, the entire live service model is honestly a really big issue in gaming, and I think everybody can probably agree with that. I mean, heck, I would prefer paid DLCs over whatever they're doing with this free model that we're getting currently, because it's clearly working, am I right? But again, okay. Before I jump into that, though, the first thing I want to say is, before anyone says it, the RC update, or the RC, paid playlist thing, is probably one of my most favorited playlists I've seen in the game so far. I genuinely mean that. All the events were super fun. I hated the rivals. I thought those were very dumb. But I did really enjoy the 10 events that were in the game. The RCs are actually really entertaining to use. I give credit where it is due, bro. 100%. But one of the issues I kind of have with these updates, though, man, is it's kind of down to how they are kind of implementing them. I feel like a lot of people are waiting for each season. We all do know Test Drive has a seasonal model as well. I mean, Battlefield does, Apex, Call of Duty, Fortnite. I could probably keep going here with games, but they're all obviously built on a seasonal type of design, which is obviously the live service thing. And I kind of feel like with the way they do this, oh, and Grand Theft Auto is obvious. Well, it's not on the seasonal thing. They do add updates, but the drip feed thing, talk about that in a second. But it kind of makes me wonder a little bit though, because okay, they're giving everybody the quote unquote free updates. I'm not going to go over the entire yearly pass being a ripoff. We all are completely aware of that stuff nowadays, right? You know what I'm saying? No reason to like kind of just keep repeating that stuff. But the way I'm kind of looking at this though is they are kind of giving you the crumbs of the update, which again, I understand that's kind of how they have this design. We're pretty much heading into 3 years into Motorfest, so that is most likely not going to change. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing they'll probably keep following this model with how they're doing it. Basically giving you the entire hyped up thing, and then they kind of come out of nowhere and go, oh, well, here's this playlist, and 2 months later you get the mid-season update, you know what I'm saying, which is normally another playlist. And the issue I kind of have with that is they're kind of giving you the updates and the new content and all that stuff, but they're kind of breaking those things up and hoping that'll bring players back to it, right? We see this in Battlefield. I've been seeing other YouTubers talk about that as well. I personally don't play Battlefield 6, but I still watch and look at the stuff on the game and all that, as I've always been a Battlefield fan. And they were also saying the same thing. They're kind of drip feeding you the events or the different things in the game, and that might bring players back, but the issue, though, is all those players go into that one said thing, they basically completely destroy it because they play it so much as there is nothing else. Then they all sit there and waiting for the next thing to launch, then that comes out, and they do the exact same thing, basically a never-ending cycle, because in their minds of these game developers and how they're trying to get, and honestly it might not even be the developers, it's probably the higher ups and all that stuff, but they're kind of over there going, okay, well, the thing is, we got to bring players back, right? A live service game, we got to keep players in there. So if we give them some of this, we give them the crumbs of the update, then 2 months later, we'll break it up, give them more stuff. We'll drip feed different cars every single month and all that to keep players coming back. Or they kind of give you the illusion that you're always getting content or something to do in the game. Well, the issue with that, though, is the little amount of stuff they are adding for players to do, okay, is simply not enough to keep players engaged for a long period of time. I've had this issue with Motorfest almost since the launch of the game. The funny part is I've heard other people talk about this. That one video I saw of Militia Gaming, I was laughing because I'm like, hey man, I agree with everything. I've been saying these same things, where he was saying players jump into the update and it's like 1 or 2 weeks and basically everything just dies off and it's completely done again until the next playlist and the next few things drop. And to be honest, that is super true because there is simply not enough things going on in the game to really keep you into it. Like, yes, you'll have the new playlist, players will go in there, do the custom mode, mess around, personally, I don't want to drive the same 15 classes in that said thing because a lot of the classes are lacking their specific races anyway. So I don't really want to drive a demolition derby or a monster truck on a regular street race because that's just not fun. If you know what I'm saying. We simply do not have enough plane stuff. There's not a lot of off-roading stuff. With the motocross stuff is kind of cooked. Like basically any class that's not street racing or hyper is kind of just cooked at the moment. And I feel like I don't want to jump into a playlist and do the custom mode on driving those oddball classes, right? So I do all 10 events, and the funny part is the RC playlist, I think I had it done in maybe 40 minutes, like 35 to 40 minutes. And before you guys say it, no, I did not rush through the entire thing. I basically did it on a casual pace, did the events, and I was already done. I did the rivals, and I completely did not enjoy those, but I wanted to get the entire playlist done to see how it made me feel afterwards. And to be real, I did it. I did enjoy some of the events. As I said before, this playlist was pretty fun. But even after I was done with it, I was like, okay, well, what do I do next? Because I can't jump into a full-on PvP setup where we can go race just RC cars on different tracks against other people running RC cars. Now, before you say, yes, I understand this is a paid thing, so that could raise issues. Or they can have a vehicle loan thing where it's like the Summit, for example, giving people a few different RC cars. They're all the same. You race against each other. That could really help a lot of things there. And I think with the way they're doing that, though, it's just simply not enough, dude. And the crazy part is, what little they're giving you, they basically break that up and give you another piece of it 2 months later, and the exact same cycle will happen pretty much forever, dude. Even Season 10, I'm going to say right now, the same issue will happen in Season 10, alright? It is not going to be any different than Season 7, 8, 9, 6, 5, whatever you want to say. They're basically all the exact same issue. Now, before you guys say anything, though, I understand it's not just this game. A lot of games nowadays, with how they have the models designed, they're all kind of following the exact same thing, right? It's not really anything new. But I had to really voice my frustration with this because, to be real, giving players pieces and crumbs of the update, then breaking those up and drip feeding those said pieces of that update throughout the months of that season is just simply not the way to do it, dude. You got to have enough stuff in there to keep players engaged. I understand they're trying to keep players on the game. The live service model is what a lot of games are working toward, unfortunately. And we can kind of see how it's kind of imploding everywhere. A lot of people talked about Fortnite with what they're doing and how they had to lay off people and all that. Test Drive Unlimited's in a very terrible spot. Nacon, who knows what's going to happen with all that stuff. I mean, this stuff is pretty clear as day that it is not working. Look at the situation Battlefield is. Look at Call of Duty. I mean, it kind of blows my mind. And I know a lot of people are like, dang, Blocked, I haven't really heard you talk about this stuff, dude. But to be real, I do love gaming. I have a passion for gaming. I really do enjoy playing these games. I kind of love exploring. I mean, heck, dude, I play a lot of single-player games. I loved Elden Ring. I played through Sekiro. I played through Dark Souls 3. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto and all that. Like, I've been playing through a lot of these games. I play a lot of old single-player racing games and, you know, Need for Speed, for example. I played an old shooter called Black and all that on PlayStation 2. There's a lot of old great games out there I used to love and all that, and the thing is, I'm seeing how these newer games are. You can clearly see, for one, that players are not happy with them, and playing Motorfest, I'm gonna be real with y'all, for me, this game is like Sleep Fest. Like, getting on this game, bro, I can legit fall asleep, okay? It is not that hard to do. I could do races, fall asleep. I don't want to do grand races, okay? I understand that is the only PvP mode in the game, which completely blows my mind that we are pretty much 3 years in, and there is nothing PvP-wise. Y'all know what would help the entire game being super boring basically after a day or so, every single update? To add game modes that would bring players to do them and also together. What I mean by that is simply down to PvP stuff. We could have had a NASCAR Cup-style PvP thing, absolute L there. We could have had an entire RC PvP playlist thing where players race each other in RC cars, like the little overhead view races, bro. Why can't we do something like that with other people and also the other RC races? It just does not make any sense to me how these things are not in the game, and they think players are going to want to jump on Motorfest and play that set update for 2 months, where the playlist basically offers barely an hour of content, and then you're like, okay, what do I do next, man? It literally does not make any sense. I had to talk about this and also kind of bring up some of these old things I've talked about again because there's just so many funky things going on with the designs. I really just do not understand any of it. And y'all know what's kind of wild though is seeing other YouTubers and seeing a bunch of people talk about these things. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I said that about a year and a half ago. I said that a year ago. And everyone's like, well, maybe they'll step it up now because, Forza Horizon 6 is coming out. I'm over here like, I hear y'all, but I'm going to be real. It is way too late to be stepping it up. They should have been doing that years ago or months and months and months ago. They should have been going, we got to do this, this, and this. We got to build upon that. We got to do it. And I feel like not much of any of that has really changed or done much in the game to keep players into it. Like a lot of players wanted PvP modes. They gave us rewards in PvP that you pretty much don't even want to do. The ranked mode in Grand Racing is not even ranked, bro. It's basically just rewards with like a leveling system. It's not even really a ranked system. And a lot of players don't even want to deal with that. But once you hit the gold, you're done with Grand Racing. What do you do after that? Okay, what do you do after that? You know what I'm saying? If there's other separate things to do, that would probably help tremendously in the downtime of how these seasons are designed. And again, this is something that's been on my mind. You guys have probably heard me talk about this stuff. It's just so frustrating, dude, because the potential for the game is there and is completely being squandered. Like Forza Horizon 6 is around the corner. We all do know it literally launches next week, which is insane to me in early access. The main launch is obviously the Tuesday after. But the thing is, though, on Wednesday, which is the final summit I will be doing on Motorfest, guys, I had to say that I will not be doing any more summits. And to be real, there probably won't be any Motorfest content for an extremely long time, at least for me. And the main reason for that is there is just simply nothing to do in this game, man. Like, I don't even enjoy really doing the summits anymore. Like, I'll probably do the Traxxas one, obviously, because I want that. But I'm not going to jump on to get some rerun vanity item from the Crew 2 anymore and all that stuff, and I just don't play PvP. For me, there's just simply not anything to do in this game, and people can be like, well, Blocked, you played the game too much, and the thing is, I'm literally not, bro. I jump on and do the playlist, which does not take long if you come home. You could do the playlist in 40 minutes. When you're done with it, you have the rewards. What do you do afterwards? You want to go do Grand Racing again, bro? I don't think so. You probably want to use some of the new vehicles that they add, any of the updates, Hoonigan, all of these new updates, guys. There could easily be some really cool PvP type of like playlists they could easily do that would bring everybody together. Now, I know I've talked about this before, man, but how is it not obvious at this point to make people more interested in this game? Because as all the updates go, the way they are designed, I'm going to say this, it will not change with people being interested in the game, okay? They're going to be bored probably in the first 2 to 3 days after the update because that's how they are simply designed. If you're giving players the pieces of the update, they wait those entire 4 months for a piece of the update for then get a quote-unquote mid-season patch, which is basically that patch not being done. Then they give you a small piece of it with another couple of races or another couple of things. Players will end up jumping into those things, completely decimating it because there is nothing else. And then guess what? They will go right back into that cycle going, okay, well, what can I do next? Is there more cars coming? Is there more content? And yeah, there is more cars coming. 1 car a month, and then, some races in 2 months from now. And then you'll jump into those and just keep repeating that exact same cycle, man. It's mind-blowing to me, guys. Again, I could probably keep yapping about this stuff, but do let me know what y'all think in the comments below. The biggest thing I gotta say again is I'm not really going after Motorfest, although I am because I can see the potential in this game. But this is a widespread issue with most of the modern games out right now, and to be real, it is by far a big problem.